Hello there guys, and welcome back to Reborn with Michael Watson. Today we're talking about turn your imaginal act into a fact with this simple process, okay? Before I go into it, if you like spirituality simplified, then please consider subscribing to my channel and give me a like on this video to spread the word. You see, the thing is, we're overcomplicating spirituality. Let's make it simple, effortless and joyous. Also, please join my free Facebook group, The Healing Circle, where I help answer your questions, put other content up there. I would love to have you there, so join in. Right guys, so turn your imaginal act into a fact. Well, let's go into this for a little bit, okay? Firstly, what is the imaginal act? Well, let's just describe it. You know, for many of you who are following me know Neville, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but Neville Goddard says that God lives in our own wonderful human imagination. So anything that we can imagine, we can become. So when you start to imagine the act, he says to start to get into the sensation of it, of the realization of the imaginal act as if it is real. And then you sort of live in that sensation and you will feel this sort of overcoming release, like a sexual outburst. Once that is done, there is no business for you to do anymore. You just follow the bridge of incidences and it will take you to your end. So here's what I want to say about that. Here's some of the things that they don't tell you nowadays with all the different videos that I want you to know. We live in a world of high information. Look, I'm posting 5 videos a week. You know, others are posting it. There is so much information at your fingertips telling you this, telling you that. So sometimes it gets hard to realize what is the truth. What do I actually need to do? Well, here's what I'm going to say is, sometimes what you're doing is, because you're seeing so much of people's lives, so much information all the time, you're often reacting to life. You're often having an emotional response. If you are feeling highly stressed, highly worried, a lot of energy in your body because you want to create this thing so much, your imaginal act is worthless. Because you are not in the alignment of the sort of acceptance of the imaginal act. This is the missing component. You must accept that imaginal act as a fact for it to express on the physical screen of space. So what I'm trying to say to you is, you cannot accept your imaginal act if you are still very anxious and tense. So what I'm going to suggest you to do is this. Just like Neville says, get yourself into a sleepy, drowsy state. This is what you're going to do. You're going to do it tonight. And do this for 30 days. And you will just see some magic happen, okay? All you're going to do is get yourself into a sleepy, drowsy state. Before you go into your imaginal act, though, just from living in this day and age where there is so much information, you are probably overexposed. So all I want you to do is scan through your body. Notice any areas where there is discomfort in your body. Sit with that discomfort, observe it until you notice it starts to move and release. Once you get to this full state of peace, divine peace, and inner relaxation, you can start to do your imaginal act. Here's the next step though. Now, as much as we want to make it clear, I personally, this is just me, I like you to make it a screenshot of the moment. Make it a very simple but vivid thing. Don't overwhelm it with too much stuff. Just see yourself potentially phoning your mum, phoning your best friend, phoning your husband, phoning your wife, telling them the good news of everything that's happened. See that moment. Now, condense that moment into a sensation. When I say a sensation, I just mean a sort of the natural feeling of telling that to them. Now grab that feeling, condense it. Now, if I was you now, in this moment of condension, I would start to put it into a phrase. Now Neville likes, isn't it wonderful? Now I would say something like, it is done. It is done. So now every time that I'm walking along and the idea comes into my mind, if it goes against it, I just say, it is done. It is done. Now there is no resistance towards the imaginal act. Now what your job is to do is to not let the outer world become anything to you besides situations. What am I trying to say? Excuse me, by the way. So it is meaningless what happens outside of you now. This is meaningless. There is no meaning to anything else that happens after you've done the Imaginal Act. If you start to add meaning to the outside circumstances, you then nullify it. It's like adding an acid to an alkaline. You become a neutral substance. So you blocks and impediments towards the end. No matter what happens, even if it goes against your vision, you do not be concerned, because you know that now that you have stepped into the vision, you know the truth about it all, that it is done. It exists already at some level of consciousness and reality. It already exists. So your only job from here then really is to now let life take you. This is what we call the flow state or Wu Wei. Now you just let go and you take the path of least effort. The path of least effort will guide you toward that end result. So what do? Let's break it down again. You get very relaxed. You start to notice any level of emotional discomfort and you sit and observe that discomfort till it releases. Then you come to a wonderful presence and peace. Now you can allow the imagery of your desire, whether that be a phone call, a snapshot, something that is a short image, but you can add a lot of detail to. Then you let the emotions come up very naturally to that image. So you're literally speaking to your soulmate or your You literally, now how does that feel? Well, feel it in the moment, because you're living it, because you're present. Now the brain doesn't know any difference whether this is real or imagined. In this moment in particular, then you really let go. After that, you just allow life to take you. Now you just let go. A little bit like when I put out there about my wife, I didn't know who it was meant to be. I had an idea because I had met her in the past, but I just let the bridge of incidences now come to pass to bring her into my life. And that's it. The same with this coaching, the same when I was an actor, the same now with this video. I let it go. There is nothing else that I can do. Now I give it over to God. You must give it over to God. What is giving it over to God? Well, it's finding peace in yourself no matter what the situation that's going around you. That is what I know to be true. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Listen, I want to say to you, all of you who have been following me up to this point, helping the channel grow to where it has, I appreciate you. You're wonderful. I wish you all the blessings of life. Every single one of my subscribers, you are in my prayers daily. And I bless you with all of my heart and soul. So thank you. Keep spreading this word of simplified, wonderful manifestation. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you at the next one, guys. And thanks again.